So I'm about to start having some fun. Went through the big squeeze device, everything trying to get in and pressure me. Now, the release all gone away. Free to explore, expand myself, and deal with the old stuff that's coming through. And I am dealing with it. I'm so happy about that. So in the New Age movements, like if you listen to Abraham Hicks and the Law of Attraction and things like that, resistance has come a dirty word. You're not allowing it in. Don't resist that. Resistance. You're resisting. That's why you're not ascending. Yeah, it's your resistance. You have to learn to let go. Resistance is neutral. It is neither good nor evil. It can serve just like a gun or a knife or a fork. It's a tool. And I figured out what my subconscious self was doing with all this, and it is brilliant. Compliments to the more condensed light within me. Responding to the flattery, the approval, the acknowledgement, which I'm channeling that right now. So, as I had mentioned in previous videos, when I first awakened, these entities awakened within me. So it was actually them awakening. It was not the human aspect awakening. So I got those the Indian style, because that's what I do. Of course, we can make jokes about the Indian. He's going to put his legs behind his head and say, hey, I'm the Indian. So, now I lost track because I went to be funny. So just checking myself on the Indian style thing. Alright, so yeah, this is my normal state of being. All the resistance is gone. The purpose of resistance in my life. All these entities woke up in me. Oh, healings everywhere. It was fabulous. I was the most magical being on the face of the earth. But it wasn't me. It wasn't the human. It was these entities waking up within me. And I griped. Good for you, bitch. You're going home. You got the answers you need. And oh, you, Mr. I Am. Oh boy, you got your little girl. Or you want to use her to drag her ass all over. Teach her, show her something, have her accept you. No, y'all left me with a mess. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. No shame to my game. I refuse to put child support burden on fathers. I slept with the motherfuckers. That's my responsibility. So this is my job to take care of. I'm not going after them, and I'm certainly not going to use a private agency funded and enforced by the government. It's not my style. I prefer the root of sovereignty. I'm very much into becoming a sovereign being. Not the sovereign citizens movement and the new thing that they've renamed themselves. No. What it truly means to be sovereign, self-owned, self-determined. So, instead, I have like 3 different child support orders on me. One of them's over $200,000 last time I looked. Maybe 10 years ago. So I'm talking buttloads of money. Anything I get, any asset I get is just going to be attached like immediately. So for me, a mediocre, consistent flow of money is not going to serve me. It's just going to go out the door. I'm going to be having money, I could get a job, I could, produce some sort of passive income that will just get attached. They'll just take it all. And I will still be living on the street. I can make $200,000 a year, and I would still be living on the street. It's just a mediocre flow of money will not serve me in any conducive way. So for me, if I'm resisting the mediocre flow and I'm producing the vibration of abundance, I am drawing a train wreck of finances my way. And a train wreck of finances is the only thing that's going to serve me. So, resistance in this case is the tool my subconscious can use in order to get what I need, that true abundance. No more worries. Oh, you want $200,000? Okay, you can have that. No sweat off my back. Choke on him, motherfucker. No problem. Oh, child, the one who won't talk to me, who didn't want to get to know me, who decided to tell lies about me. No, I just gave your father $200,000. Go ask him for it. Because that's the one you looked to. That's the one you turned to. That's the one you modeled. You looked after. That's where you wanted to be and who you wanted to be. Go be that. Go do him. Go get what you want from him. People from my past, oh, the relatives didn't want to take me in, who just wanted to gaslight me into serving their purposes. No, you had power over me. You could have taken all this in. You could have had it included in your experience, but you're not. You wanted that instead. You wanted to take your little pityins and puppet me around and make me suffer and feel some sort of need for you because this is my only avenue. I need that. So I got to sit here and take the little nibbles and crumbs from the table, eat the throw up, No. So the New Age movement has made resistance an evil word. I'm going to make it a good word. I'm going to make it a really powerful word. I have love. There are men who have loved me, and they've had aspects that, ring a bell here and there, but they're not the whole package. So I've been resisting relationships. As soon as a red flag goes up, that's it. I'm ghosting you. I'm done. And so, again, my resistance has built up a flow of only the qualities that I need in a partner. And so when I let go of that resistance, it's the huge that's going to come in so that I can relax and not have to work for everything, because I have worked my entire life and I'm done. But now I have to let it in. And when I let it in, I have to let in the entities, the energies that are going to bring it with them. So it used to be back when the great awakening of the spirits in me occurred, I would wake up every morning and I would immediately get to typing on my computer and recording, whatever they wanted to download into me. And it was great. It was wonderful. The supposed to be twin flame was psychic, very intuitive psychic, one of the top ones in the world. And a little Yahoo Messenger would pop up. I know you're awake. I can feel you're awake. I know you're awake. Talk to me. Like, nope. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm going to take it all in. I'm going to polish it. I'm going to fill it out. And then I'm going to gift it to the world. Of course, they didn't use me as a channel to bring it to the world. Instead, they allowed all these other people to make money and become comfortable with distorted filters. Well, that's their problem. So I'm coming up with the process in which I will begin to allow myself to channel outside energies, to allow them to work with me, to work through me, and for me to create a platform to do that. So I have to start practicing, because you have to get into a pattern, a habit of it, and then it will start to flow. Normally, they're like, oh, you got to anchor yourself into the earth, and you have to create a bubble, and you have to envision these higher aspects. I don't like to use the term higher. The more expanded, I want my what we call the subconscious. I want my condensed darkness with all its wisdom and all its knowing and all its awareness to expand. So my short-term memory is not going to remember what's going to come through. That's a given. That's what channeling higher entities is. I'm going to be channeling, bringing through the more expanded self, and you can see, my eyes are glazing over so that I can get used to this feeling of allowing this to expand itself so that it can work with and allow energies to come in and awareness to merge with Earth, with itself. Earth. But if you're feeling it, you know what I'm talking about. And I think we might have a name here for Earth. um, so I'm not going to do that though. I'm not going to ground into the earth and create a bubble. Dude, I am the bubble. I'm like an atomic bomb, antimatter, fucking amount of energy condensed in this little being. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to anchor to the core within me. That little itty bitty bit of light, way, way down when you're looking for it. It's way, way down through the darkness, and you see all the monsters like reaching, like, oh, we're gonna get you, oh no, ah. I don't want to go down there. Free fall, baby. Just focus on that light, let go, and you will just zoom right past it. I'm gonna anchor on that light within me. And I'm going to do that instead of the earth because, number one, I don't want to stick around where I'm not wanted. Number two, I am so wanted. The energy I have is so wanted. I don't have to worry about blipping off the earth. And if I do blip off the earth, I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to miss society. I'm not going to miss mass consciousness. And the earth itself, last time I opened up, I went to a woodland place, a stream, and I opened up, just to feel the energies and become one with the water and the trees. They were all fucking talking, and it was just too much chaos. I shut that off again. Because man sits there and projects, oh, this is what the little birdie's saying. And they can only imagine that the bird is saying what they would say. And so the dysfunctional human consciousness has been projected on, oh, this is what the trees are feeling. This is how the trees are gonna, and sorry, y'all got distorted filters and you're corrupting the trees, the water, the fish, the birds, the seeds, the flowers, every leaf, every little particle of air is talking and reflecting human consciousness. So if me and my bubble blip off this planet and land on another one for some odd reason, I am not going to be upset about that. If there's nothing to hold me here, then I don't need to be here. So without fear, I'm not going to be anchoring into the earth when I do this. I'm going to be anchoring into the core of myself. And that is how we become an expression of our so-called higher self. We don't do it by putting ourselves up there and leaving a little bit of ourselves down here. No, I want me, the wholeness of me, to be the dominant energy affecting me and moving me. So I'm going to anchor into myself. And I'm going to allow myself to understand and see the space that I'm creating, my so-called bubble. I'm not going to project gold protection shields or angels around it. That's going to come because it is so desired. Anything that wants it is going to protect the fuck out of it. I am safe. I couldn't be any safer. And so then I'm going to start practicing my voice. I used to allow all the tones and stuff go to some far off place. It's been so long since I could find a place out far away where nobody's going to hear me, where I could practice my voice. But I'm going to start doing that because the energies, it's going to sound like a different person coming through. and they're going to make sounds. There's going to be subliminal sounds. There's going to be, higher pitch sounds that maybe our ears don't pick up on. So I have to allow that to come through my voice box, which smoking did not help. So we're going to have to do a lot of practice and a lot of hydrating on this one. So that's my process. I'm going to anchor into myself. I'm going to allow myself to open up. I'm not stepping aside for anything. My short-term memory's going to rest because it can't absorb it and maintain and retain and explain it all. It's not possible. But I can go back and I could watch a video or I could read what I've written. I'm going to do it video now. I used to do it writing because I didn't want to be seen. I couldn't handle being seen, being heard. People and entities can attach to the picture, can attach to the voice and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. I don't have to worry about things anymore. I've gotten flashbacks. So when I left the slabs in the spring, before I left, like I had explained in the last video, I made energy pathways. So at different stations, certain dark energies that were controlling people would have to walk between certain things. I went through and I destroyed those, and I wore out pathways, certain walkways, while contemplating and bringing certain energies with me. And I got a glimpse recently of those following them. My goal for doing that, my intention was to make a way for anybody and anything that wanted out to get out, and for the energies that belong to that land to be able to stay in a good way and to be able to be the dominant energies of that land. I saw a horizon in which that desert was fallow. And so I made the ways, the pathways, the energy ways, the thinking patterns, the emotional patterns to bring anything that wanted to stay there to that fallow, to that shallow ground, to that rest, that desert at rest. And anybody and anything that wanted to leave to be able to leave. And even the darkest, the worst, the most self-hating, self-loathing, nastiest could actually leave the way that I left, because I went up to Skid Row in Los Angeles. I went down to Miami, Florida. I mean, if you're going to try to shed layers of unwanted, those are the places where all that unwanted exists, is for thriving. And so through making that journey and following my energy, all the places and situations are set up so that things can be shed, things can be integrated, left beautiful gifts for people to integrate energies and release freedom from a prison planet, from being an alien stuck here where it's only 5 minutes where they came from, but it's 7 years here, and that 7 years is pure hell. So it doesn't compensate, oh blink, oh it's only been 5 minutes, but dang, all the negative energy, all the baggage that entity's going to bring back with them, 7 years worth of the most grotesque violence that the earth can produce. They're going to bring it back. It only took them 5 minutes up there to prepare for that coming back, but what they're bringing back, how long is it going to take them to filter that out in the reality that they came from? That's quite a lot. So I'm working on my process. I'm going to have to come up with a closing and ending to a session, an experience of it. Usually that's easy because when I was channeling before, I would feel the message that wanted to come through, And then you could feel the add-on, the one trying to sneak in on the tail, because it's an open, flowing place, and so it can kind of just get drawn in if it focuses and wants to come. And I gotta cut that tail off, so I have a good sense of when to cut that tail off, and to feel like, even though the desire to be heard and for this to happen is included in what's trying to come through, and I cut it off and that desire's there, I have to let go of that part wanting to be heard. I have to be aware, because there's a lot of attachment, and your gut gets attached to it because it's like, oh, it's part of it, the desire, it wants to be included in this, it needs to be. No, it doesn't. And so I have to differentiate and have to let that go. So knowing when to end the message. And I might need, I might not get it right every time, especially when I first start this. But it's very exciting that I came up with my own process. And there's excitement in what we call the subconscious, the condensed part, the part that's holding itself in so that it can have a conscious communication with you in a tone and personality and expression, visual expression that is familiar to you. So also my visual expression is going to change because I'm no longer going to be resisting. And as I stop resisting certain things, my circumstances will probably move really quickly as well. So that's the game plan. That's what's going down. Girlfriend's got her process. And it's kind of good because this time of year the veils are thinner. And so I'm beginning when it's easier to do this sort of thing. And then in spring, when it's, time for the full blossoming of it, I will already be in the rhythm and flow of doing it. And we'll see what that looks like.